Welcome everyone. This is Dr. Bertalan Meskó, the Medical Futurist, and I'm very happy to welcome you to this quite special Q&A session. Normally I do these Q&A live sessions so I can have a discussion with you, I can answer your questions, we can discuss important topics about the future of medicine and healthcare, but this one is different because for today what I planned is to do futures, methods, exercises. A few words about what those might be. At the Medical Futurist, for the last more than a decade or so, I've been trying to come up with interesting and exciting trends and megatrends, scenarios, context, the meanings behind the technological revolution in medicine and healthcare. With a dedicated team, we have been trying to provide all these details for you, for healthcare leaders, policymakers, innovators, for everyone out there who wants to shape healthcare's future and create a better world for patients and medical professionals. And I like to believe that we have been doing a useful job. But pinpointing or highlighting trends and sharing those insights and the context about these changes might be useful. I think we can do something even more useful. And that's why we will dedicate the next months, if not the next year, to sharing futures methods. I want to share with you all the futures methods that I have been using in the past decade to come up with these trends and scenarios and context for you. Because maybe I always feel funny when I have to say out loud, but the future is not a predetermined path, not a singular line in which, as a futurist, I should be able to predict exactly what is going to happen and when. It's nonsense. In fact, there are multiple futures, and practical methods do exist for discovering, observing, and analyzing those multiple futures, for trying to find out which desired future we would like to achieve in a given field, like in medicine and healthcare. And what shall we do from today to have a better chance to get to that desired future? That's why we have been publishing videos and articles about certain futures methods in the last couple of weeks, like forecasting and the futures wheel method. But next week, we will launch a digital course. In that course, you can learn how to get out of short-term thinking, how to look into the future, how to spend more time thinking about the future without becoming anxious, but instead by gaining anticipatory consciousness. This is a proactive mindset that would help you to turn the unknown risk about the future into scenarios, the fear about the unknown into emotional resilience today. And those futures methods are very well established methods and validated ones that have been used in business management and corporate planning and economics for decades, maybe from the 1970s. But for some reason, not in medicine and healthcare. It's unbelievable to come to that conclusion that this very important industry has been neglecting these amazing methods. So it's like one of the first steps. I thought that in this Q&A, while also, of course, being very open to answering your question, and many of you submitted excellent questions through the Ticket Sailor site, my plan is to do a futures exercise with you. I cannot do that without you, not involving you. And I want to create a scenario analysis with you about a topic that interests to all of us. I thought that the topic should be implementing AI in the future of healthcare, but I'm very much open to whatever suggestions you have in mind. And welcome everyone from so many places around the world: Ottawa, Canada, Germany, Brazil, Hong Kong, the USA, Ghana, Thailand, Tunisia. We have a really international audience. Welcome everyone here. You have to know that you can find all the details, analysis we share every day on the Medical Futurist social media channels. Plus we have analysis twice a week on medicalfuturist.com. Plus we have a YouTube channel. That's why maybe you are here, where you can see all these video analysis about interesting, exciting, futuristic topics on this YouTube channel. So that's the plan. I think for the next couple of minutes, I will answer a few of the questions that many of you submitted before the Q&A even started. If you have any live questions, just let's jump right into them. But after that, I want to do an analysis with you. And let me share with you just again, like a quick recap, what this method looks like. So what we will do is that we will choose a topic of interest. Again, for example, implementing AI in the future of healthcare. We need to define an established value, something that matters to all of us, because someone's utopia might be someone else's dystopia. For example, if we talk about the future of medical education, this established value could be the professor-student partnership. If we would talk about the future of remote care, maybe the doctor-patient relationship would be the established value. If that value flourishes, then we have a utopia. If that value vanishes, we have a dystopia. In the next step, we would describe the actual features of a utopia, for example, again, about AI's role in the future of medicine. Then we describe those features for a dystopia, and of course, after that, we will look for a middle ground. What could be the desired, ideal, optimal, optimistic outcome of those futuristic scenario analysis? In the last step, we will try to backcast towards today. Well, if that's the desired scenario, what kind of changes we have to make today, in legal, technological, social, cultural terms to make sure that we have a higher chance to reach that desired vision. That's the plan. That's how a normal scenario analysis works. And just checking the chat, Ahmed has a question right away. There's a trend nowadays talking about multiple realities and superposition. I'm wondering if one day we can kind of visualize in 5D the possible evolutions of a disease, maybe test treatments. That's a great question, Ahmed. I think that's what digital twins have been trying to do. Companies like Siemens have been working on developing digital twins, meaning that they try to gather as much data as possible about the patient and create a digital twin of that patient. So if a patient later on has a heart disease and they have to have a new drug or medication, but they don't know about the potential side effects, they can test that drug virtually on the digital twin first. And if there are no side effects, then the patient can get the same treatment. That's the whole idea behind that. Here is one more from Supriya. Would AI-enabled courses eventually replace professors in theoretical classes at medical schools? Is this a possibility we can anticipate? I'm pretty sure that AI-generated content will play a larger and larger role in medical education, but I see no reason for replacing professors. And the reason why is that if we decided to do a scenario analysis about the future of medical education, I think the pre-established value would be what lies in the partnership between professors and students. And we would find that that must flourish to have a utopia, a desired future. And if that vanishes because we only have AI courses, what's the point of having professors and students at all in medical schools? That's just that kind of this value vanishing from medical education, I'm sure wouldn't allow medical professionals to be trained in a way that they will be able to work out such partnerships with their patients. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. What the most important abilities must be learned in the undergraduate health courses? From Luis Roberto de Oliveira. I assume you're talking about not the general health courses and medical courses, but something about technology. I guess that's why you are here, the Medical Futurist YouTube live Q&A. And I would say that prompt engineering is definitely a top skill that we need to teach medical students now to make them ready to be able to use generative AI. We have to help them how to use multimodal generative AI models, large language models. We have to teach them how to work with empowered patients, how to create partnerships in an eco-level stage. We have to help them how to assess the quality of advanced technologies. And I think we also have a recent article about this. Yes, a guide to the future for medical students. I just shared that in the chat. Jason Trikovic, is the current delivery of medicine, which is currently inefficient, costly, breaking at the seams, and highly regulated, defendable presently? If not, then will private industry provide a better product? I know it's never enough what we have, but I also always come to the conclusion that we should cherish what kind of healthcare system we have today. And that's why life expectancy has been rising. Today, it's like 73.6 years for both gender combined globally. So that's the average. And it used to be 60 and 50 and 40 a century ago. We can treat really advanced diseases, many types of cancer. We eradicated infectious diseases. We came over a pandemic in the last few years. So while I understand that it's never good enough and it's not as personalized and not progressing as fast as other industries like consumer, electronics like smartphones and transportation and energy, I think healthcare is still doing okay. And depending on what kind of healthcare system your country has, whether it's socialized or private insurance based, you will experience a different healthcare system for sure. Paulo Lopez, what is the role of a community of experts in defining possible scenarios and technological prospecting, and how to prospect digital interventions for the future based on real current problems? What an excellent 2 questions to ask, Paulo. I think the role of community experts is, for me, is about how futurists or people, researchers, experts with futures thinking skills could help others in a given field to better foresee their own future. So it's not my job as a professional futurist to foresee your fields of interest, but it's my job to be able to share with you methods, practical ones you can learn right away, that would allow you or support you, facilitate you to foresee the future of your own field of interest better. And I think that's what futurists have to do. And that's what we are doing at the Medical Futurist. And that's why we are launching that course, a guide to navigating potential futures, next week. All right. Now, we will come back to the questions later, but I really want to start the exercise with you. So the exercise is about scenario analysis. Again, just a quick recap here. The next step is that we have to find out which topic, the future of what topic we would like to focus on. This should be something that, keeps you up at night, something that matters to all of us. Again, my suggestion is that it should be the implementation of AI in the future of healthcare, but I can wait a minute or so, and if you have a better idea, there is something specific you want to analyze, and that might be of interest for a larger audience, so not just it's in your very particular interest, then I would be happy to shoot for that. But implementing AI into healthcare is such a topic that interests, I think, everyone these days. We don't know what's going to happen, of course, because the future is not a predetermined path. But I can show you how to use that method of scenario analysis for observing and discovering potential futures about using AI in medicine. +1 for AI in healthcare, so we will start with that. Well, the second step is that we have to define an established value, something that matters to us. If that value flourishes in the future, we have a utopia in our hands. If that value diminishes or vanishes, we have a dystopia. I think when it comes to AI in healthcare, the question is always about whether AI will replace physicians. So I think what matters is whether there is a connection still in the future between physicians and patients. Dr. Marcus Karstetter has a very relevant question to this exact stage. When you are building utopia scenarios, how do you succeed getting closed minds on board? I get this many times when I do workshops with C-level executives, and they don't want to think about a future, and they think it's nonsense and useless to talk about a utopia when we cannot reach that. But I help them understand that without knowing the extremities, how can we find the middle ground? And the way I try to get them out of their closed minds is that I call this the fairy tale exercise. Let's imagine that we have a business, an industry, we have a question in our hands, and it's a fairy tale. Everything works in our favor. Anything from money to technological progress, adoption rates, everything is in our favor. Let's describe the features of this utopia. So in this case, as the established value for all of us would be the patient-doctor relationship, let's start describing the features. Here is a presentation, features of a utopia. Let's start with that. So when it comes to, I just realized something, that if I do that, I will be not seeing your comments, but if I put it on my other screen, then I will. That's it. So let's think about, when it comes to the use of AI in medicine and healthcare, what kind of features could we come up with describing a utopia when everything works in our favor? I will start, and hopefully you will jump in and come up with your own ideas. So I assume that we can diagnose and treat every kind of diseases with AI. That's definitely one point here. A bit. Okay, second. I think that if we have a utopia and AI only supports physicians but doesn't replace them. I think that's needed for a utopia. Ahmed says AI helps prevent diseases even before they would appear. Excellent point. AI takes over every repetitive and database task. In the meantime, Joe Zott has a question. How do you include multiple factors? Well, I try to, so if we are too specific, then we lose the audience and we create a futuristic utopia, a scenario that nobody will be interested in. So we have to create something that people can work with. And in this case, what really matters to us is the middle ground, the desired scenario. This one. But to be able to create this, we have to have a clear understanding about the utopia and a clear understanding about the features of a dystopia. That's why we start with this one. All right. Not that one. Anything else? Diagnose diseases before birth. Prevent diseases even before fear. Even during pregnancy. Excellent point. Okay. We will learn, okay, insights from AI on the go about improving our health. Good point, Wendy Young. All treatments will be available to all patients regardless of their ability to pay. Okay, so AI makes healthcare affordable. And one more thing, you just gave me an idea. AI finds cures nobody has thought of before. I had an analysis on the Medical Futurist about this, that AI can find unusual associations. So again, the established value that we have to keep in mind is that there is a utopia because the patient-doctor relationship flourishes while using AI. Yes, Ahmed, AI can help improving our lifestyle and environment. I think it's in right here, insights from AI on the go about improving our health and lifestyle. AI finds cures, it makes healthcare more affordable. AI constantly analyzes patient-specific and public health data. So healthcare is affordable, healthcare is fast, healthcare is efficient, healthcare has new treatments. Physicians have a lot more time to spend with patients. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 9 features. So I think we are getting there. Any more features you think would be important here about the utopia when it comes to using AI in medicine and healthcare? 9 features would be enough. I'm just asking if there is anything else you would like to share. If not, then we go to the dystopic section. If you think it's easy to create a utopia, try it. It's not easy because everything has to work in our favor. All right, now the second part. We describe, as you can see, we describe a dystopia when nothing works in our favor. Again, the topic is AI in medicine and healthcare, and the common established value is the doctor-patient relationship. So it's easy. AI replaces physicians. This is the first point of this dystopia, that's for sure. AI replaces physicians. There is no human contact in medicine. That would definitely be a dystopia. AI takes over medical decision making. So essentially, physicians make no decisions. Patients have no say, don't have a say in all that, because AI is very efficient, so it will make decisions. You see, maybe AI making a decision is good for our health, so that could be a utopia, but it goes against our pre-established value, the doctor-patient relationship. AI prioritizes patients over others for non-ethical reasons. AI doesn't extend human lives. Exactly. Just first follow-up is AI makes wrong diagnosis and treatments without us knowing. What a good point. And this is excellent point. Shang Ong, AI doesn't help extend human lives. Doesn't contribute to life expectancy and years spent in health. I think that's how they say it in public health. AI makes decisions to select one best sample of humans. I tried to include that in the third point, prioritizing patients over others for non-ethical reasons. Reasons we don't even understand. Maybe thinks that or this or that patient is more important than the other, and that's why this patient should receive that state-of-the-art treatment, which is very expensive for the community, but not another patient. That's a dystopia by definition. Oh, there is no patient privacy due to the need for a lot of data. AI chooses to kill instead of trying to extend. Exactly. Access to AI widens the digital gap and social gap. Paula Hodgson, we just had the same thought experiment. AI cannot protect patient private data and it is breached. That's what's in the final point, the last point here. And I just want to include the AI leads to widening the health equity gap. I think that's enough about the dystopia. Now, let's build the middle ground. Now we know what could be amazing. Now we know what could be awful. And the pre-established value is that patients and physicians have a relationship. So let's try to find the common ground, a desired future. I also call it the optimal, the ideal future, something that's realistically doable. So if you think that we should just copy-paste all the points from the utopia, then it means our features for the utopia are too realistic. Therefore, we did a bad job. A utopia has to be unrealistic, just like a dystopia has to be unrealistic too. The desired future should be optimal and doable. Patients and physicians can build a relationship. Okay. AI takes over some repetitive jobs that don't require medical professionals. Okay. Desired future. We use AI. Regulations help ensure safe and mostly efficient use of AI. Yeah, Paulo, exactly. We have to use the possible of the utopia and trying to avoid the features of the dystopia. But again, as you can see, it's not so easy to come up with the desired features. I mean, we are doing that. We have 3. Patients can choose from treatment options. So patients have a say in decision making. That's what I hear from your comment, Dr. Markus Karlstetter. Patients have a say in decision making. AI only supports physicians in decision making. In the utopia, it took over decision. Yes, it took over. No, in the dystopia, it took over, but in the utopia section, let's check it out what I wrote. AI only supports physicians, but AI only supports physicians in decision making without taking control. AI can broaden patients with medical knowledge, but patients make their own decisions. I think we have this in decision making authority. Okay. This Shangong, desired future, AI improves diagnosis by 50% and drives the cost of healthcare 20% lower. So AI helps improve diagnostic accuracy and can lower the cost a bit too. Let's not be, unrealistic here. 20% reduction would change the world right away. All right. AI helps improve the health equity gap, but it remains a technological entity equity gap issue at the core. AI improves access to information for patients and physicians. AI improves access to medical information for all, but hallucinations make it hard to assess its quality. I think that's what's fair for a desired future. That we haven't lost we haven't lost hallucinations from large language models, but it's significantly better than it could be in a dystopia. All right. If we agree that these are the features of a utopia when everything works in our favor, and these are the features of a dystopia when nothing works in our favor, then we have a chance to find a common ground. Something that's realistically doable. In that desired future, let's think out loud. Patients and physicians can work together. They have more time with each other, but still, physicians have to use technologies. AI takes over some repetitive jobs, but the rest, will have to be done by medical professionals. There are regulations, but they cannot keep up perfectly with the pace of technologies. Patients have a say in decision-making and authority. That's what the current digital health paradigm shift is all about. AI only supports physicians' decision-making without taking control. That's quite an important point here. AI helps improve diagnostic accuracy and can lower the cost a bit too, but implementing it remains expensive. That's the, practical reality of today. AI helps improve the health equity gap, but this issue remains a technological equity gap problem at the core. AI improves access to medical information for all, but hallucinations make it hard to assess its quality. I think multimodal large language models have to come here. Multimodal large language models prevail, but obtaining the required skills for physicians takes time. All right, now you remember we are done with this. The last one is backcasting towards today. We have to describe how we can improve these points. So if we come to today, we have to find out how to improve these features, what kind of changes we should implement today to have a higher chance to reach these points one by one. So what do we need for patients and physicians to be able to build a relationship? I think what I will do here is to have it line by line. To be able to reach that, they need to spend more time together. AI to take over some repetitive jobs, it means AI has evidence in studies, so it can be implemented. Regulations help ensure safe and mostly efficient use of AI. Regulators understand the progress of healthcare AI. Patients have a say in decision-making authority. The digital health paradigm shift takes place. AI only supports physicians in decision-making without taking control. Artificial narrow intelligence is regulated. AI helps improve diagnostic accuracy and can lower the cost a bit, but implementing it remains expensive. AI has proof of I think that's what, just anytime, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking out loud here. Has proof of concept studies for diagnostic accuracy. But it doesn't mean that it has just become less expensive. It's still expensive to buy and use AI. AI helps improve the health equity gap, but it remains a technological equity gap issue. So the use of AI helps more patients get access to healthcare, but if they have technologies through which they can use AI. AI improves access to medical information, but hallucinations make it hard to assess its quality. It means generative AI is deployed healthcare-wise. Healthcare-wise. Across healthcare domains. Multimodal large language models prevail, but obtaining the required skills for physicians take time. Medical curriculums adopt teaching AI. So, if I were a regulator or a healthcare government official, if I were a healthcare leader today, I would think about if this is the desired future about using AI in medicine, and my job is to bring AI into the core of medicine and healthcare. These would be the things I should need to be able to do, the changes I should be able to implement now to start having a better chance to reach these features in the desired future. And then I can backcast, towards like infinity. If they need to be able to spend, if patients and physicians need to be able to spend more time together, what kind of change might be needed to make it happen? I think, and we can just do one more layer here too, because I want to prove to you that this method has so much depth. This way. Again, line by line. For patients and physicians to spend more time together, I guess time spent on administration must be reduced. The AI to have evidence in studies so it can be implemented, we need research career paths shown in healthcare AI. For regulators to understand the progress of healthcare AI, we need to educate, tech experts need to work with, it's nicer, work with regulators to teach them about the progress. Digital health paradigm shift takes place. To make that happen, we need countries to adopt digital health policies. For artificial narrow intelligence to be regulated, we need to avoid reaching artificial general intelligence. AI to have proof of concept studies for diagnostic accuracy, medical associations must release guidance about reporting those. The use of AI helps more patients get access to healthcare if they have technologies. Social, projects must prove the benefits of using AI for health equity. For generative AI to be deployed across healthcare domains, generative AI needs evidence-based studies. Medical curriculums to adopt teaching AI. Medical educators should become knowledgeable about AI. You see, and if I want to be really detailed, I can go one more layer and one more layer until I get so practical recommendations that I can just share that list with regulators or policymakers and hope that with this list, they will be able to start making it happen. The more detailed I want to go, the more layers I will have in this analysis. And at the end, I think the end product could be the features, the list of features of a utopia when using AI in medicine, a list of features for a dystopia, and then the desired future, and then several layers of backcasting towards today. So that's the basic method of using scenario analysis. And you can choose any topics you want. It depends on how deep you want to go in that topic. It can be something really huge like how can we improve healthcare in general. It can be about something really specific like using quantum computers in the future of healthcare. And then by just using this simple method, creating a utopia, creating a pre-established value that when it flourishes, we have a utopia. When it vanishes, we have a dystopia. Then a desired future. Then backcasting towards today, layer by layer, until we are as practical as possible. You basically create a pathway for the current generation, for current policymakers and experts to reach that desired future. Joe, absolutely. This methodology requires an alignment in the value system. That's what I call, I know I like to, make it sound like it's something very simple, but as almost nobody has been using these futures methods in medicine and healthcare, I would be happy if just people started adopting these techniques and they will just start using them. So just calling this alignment a pre-established value, something that matters to all of us, like the patient-doctor relationship, I think it's good enough for now to help people do a scenario analysis. What I want to avoid is that because the technique, of course, is much more complicated than that, but what I want to avoid is making these techniques so complicated, even for the first step, that still nobody would adopt them. And after 50 years, we have these great validated methods, and still nobody uses them in medicine and healthcare. Of course, Ezra, it's my pleasure to go through this walkthrough. Susan Davis, this is an amazing model. The importance of overlaying this with the same process from patients, policymakers, and community. How do we combine more than the hospital physician voice? Excellent point. You can use the pre-established value and say that, well, what matters the most is from the patient's perspective, the empathy, the compassion they can get from their physician. Maybe from a medical professional's perspective, the pre-established value could be that they can spend more time with patients. And you can do the same topic analysis, but from very different angles by using the perspectives of these stakeholders. There is also another method I like to call vision writing, which you can combine with scenario analysis. And what you get is that, well, this is the utopia for using AI in the future of medicine. Let's write a speech for a politician in 2035 when they are trying to advocate for implementing AI across all medical domains. And they want to invest a lot of money into that. You would write the speech. Of course, you don't have to know all the details, but you can proactively think about what a politician, what kind of rationales and reasoning the politician might be using to make their point. Or you can write a news headline about an AI-based medical technology leading to a patient's death. And of course, that's a very dystopic scenario, but by thinking about what that process could look like, what exactly could have happened or could happen in the future, you would actually spend time thinking about the future. And the whole point of using all these futures methods, especially those you will come across in the digital course we launch at the Medical Futurist next week, the whole point is that you spend more time thinking about the future, but in a safe and controlled environment. So there is no more anxiety about the unknown, but there is anticipatory consciousness. You build emotional resilience to be better prepared for whatever is coming next. And that's what I wanted to do with you as an analysis. Coming back to a few questions that you asked, here is one. I'm smiling because we just published analysis about that. How will AI improve recruitment and management of clinical trials? Literally a few days ago, and I will share the link with you. We published, here it is, AI assistance in clinical trials. Now you will find the link in the chat. And just a few more questions here. How do you suggest clinicians get more involved? I think the best thing to do is start using generative AI, large language models. And to do that, you need prompt engineering. But generative AI is becoming so important through multimodal large language models that maybe it's just my future scenario, but I think that these multimodal LLMs will serve as the ultimate interfaces between physicians and using a range of amazing AI-based technologies. We can't expect them to learn to use them one by one, but we can expect them to use one interface. How and not okay. How will ChatGPT help healthcare? That's, I think we have covered this many times before. Still a medical student. This is coming from Ali A. Have zero information about AI in medicine. Do I start learning now? And if the answer is yes, how to start and where? I'm so glad you are asking this, because we published a paper in Nature called A Short Guide to Medical Professionals in the Era of Artificial Intelligence. And that paper was written for this exact purpose, to help medical professionals like you to start somewhere. This is the basic package of information I think you need to know about this breakthrough technology while you are preparing for choosing a medical specialty and going into the future of your field. In the meantime, on the Medical Futurist website, you will find two examples about futures methods. One is about forecasting, and the other one is about the futures wheel method. I will share both in the chat. And I had to be honest with you, for the last like 12, 13 years, I've been managing the Medical Futurist. I really have a dedicated team, 15, 14 people, and we are trying to do a good job here. But I'm extremely excited about the opportunity to share all the methods with you that we have been validating for more than 10 years. Because I do believe that by using these methods, and you can learn these in hours, by using these methods, you will gain anticipatory consciousness about your own fields of interest. You will be in a better position to turn the unknown risk and the danger about the future into something manageable, emotional resilience, scenarios, probabilities, known risks. And this is something you can deal with. If you know what might lie ahead, you get in a better position to prepare. And I've been working on this course for so long, and the whole team has been dedicating a lot of efforts into that. So I cannot wait to share with you this course next week. It's going to be up on the thinkific.com platform, like all our courses are. You know, we have courses on digital health, on generative AI and artificial intelligence. I shared the link in the chat. And for those that all of you who just were here with me doing a futures exercise, thank you so much for your valuable time and your efforts and your amazing ideas and all the suggestions and insights you've shared with me throughout the process. I hope that it was a good example, just a sneak peek into what is possible by using futures methods. I cannot wait to share the link with you to the course next week. I even more cannot wait to hear your feedback on those futures methods and how you would start using them in practice in your own field of interest, how you would start foreseeing, changing, and even controlling your own futures. And that's just not just, you know, big words and sentences. This is what is possible by using futures methods that have been established methods for decades in other industries. So I hope you are excited, or at least half as excited as I am about sharing and learning these methods. I will, of course, share the link to the course as soon as it launches next week on all the Medical Futurist social media channels. In the meantime, you can find us on medicalfuturist.com, on the associated social media channels of the Medical Futurist. You can join us here on the YouTube channel. You can also join us on patreon.com/themedicalfuturist. And we have ebooks and all kinds of courses on Thinkific and Leanpub. You can find these links on medicalfuturist.com. But for now, I just want to thank you for your time. I hope that you had a great time doing this futures exercise with me. And see you in a few weeks. Have an excellent summer, but be ready for a digital course next week. Thank you again for being with me today. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.